So you're thinking about buying or selling real estate in Alamo Ranch. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a tour of Alamo Ranch on the map. I'm going to show you exactly where it is in relation to San Antonio and what makes it one of the top suburbs of San Antonio, Texas. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in San Antonio, Texas and its surrounding areas, make sure you subscribe or tap the bell for notifications to ensure that you're one of the first to get notified when we drop a new video. My name is Katie Powers, and my husband Steven Garza and I get phone calls and emails from people just like you every single day who are looking to sell or buy real estate in the San Antonio area. Whether you're 6 days or 6 months away from making that transition, we would absolutely love to hear from you. We would be honored to be your realtors of choice and help you make that smooth transition into a new home. Now let's dive in to Alamo Ranch. All right, so here we are on the map. You have Alamo Ranch right over here on the west side of San Antonio. It is considered the far west side. A lot of the locals are going to call it Northwest San Antonio. It really just depends on the local you're talking to. You'll have far west, northwest, and in some instances, you'll have people just say it's the west. So it is off of 1604. In San Antonio, we have two major loops. We have Loop 1604, and then we have the inner loop, which is Loop 410. So Alamo Ranch is located off of 1604, and we have a new little shortcut freeway that just got put in a few years ago called 151. This highway drops off right into Alamo Ranch on Alamo Ranch Parkway. It cuts a lot of travel time if you're looking to get into downtown San Antonio, or for those of you who work at Lackland Air Force Base or Kelly Air Force Base down where Boeing is located. You just jump straight on 151. It drops you right off in those locations. But you also have I-90 here too. So those are the main freeways along the area of Alamo Ranch. Now let's dive in to Alamo Ranch. Alamo Ranch, like I said, 151 drops you off right on Alamo Ranch Parkway. Now you have some main roads through Alamo Ranch. You have Alamo Ranch Parkway right here, and then you have Alamo Parkway, which I understand can be confusing, but it goes the opposite direction. And then you also have Roft Road. Now, Alamo Road and Roft Road are great because they get you into Alamo Ranch from Culebra Road. So while on the other side of Culebra is not Alamo Ranch, it is great to come 1604 to Culebra. And if you're in the back part of Alamo Ranch, then you'll want to take Roft Road and cut in through this backside. Now, because Alamo Ranch has grown so quickly over the last few years, I shouldn't say few, over the last 15 years, this little 4-lane road, you've got 2 lanes coming in and 2 lanes coming out, has gotten congested. There's a lot of homes in this neighborhood. So it is great to have Culebra. Now Culebra is a very busy road too. So you do have some busy roads coming in and out, but for those of my clients that do end up residing in Alamo Ranch, they don't really worry about the traffic because everything they need is in Alamo Ranch. So, and a lot of them are military. So if they're going to Lackland Air Force Base or to Boeing, they know that when they leave at 5 o'clock in the morning, the traffic's not going to be there. When they come home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the traffic's not going to be that bad either. So if you do work normal hours, like your 8 to 5, you'll just want to plan in an extra 5 to 10 minutes to be able to get through Alamo Ranch Parkway or Culebra, whichever road you choose to go on. Now, a little information about Alamo Ranch. It was started in the 2000s. It is very much similar to Stone Oak. In fact, a lot of locals compare Alamo Ranch to Stone Oak. It's like the newer version, but with less taxes. So in San Antonio, most homes that are outside the 1604 corridor do not have city taxes. Now, of course, you still have Bexar County taxes, but you don't have San Antonio taxes on top of that, making your tax rate just a little bit lower than the average in San Antonio, which is also a big draw for the area. So it was originally just acreage that apparently some nuns owned, and a developer came and purchased it in the early 2000s. And then they really started building between 2006 to 2008. And then in the back part of Alamo Ranch back here, you have homes that are built closer to 2017, 2018. There's not really a lot of new construction in this area anymore. It has been built out. And you also have right here, Hill Country Retreat, which is a 55 plus community. Steve and I are working on a 55 plus community video. So if you stay tuned, we will be bringing that video to you here in the next few weeks. But it is also located in Alamo Ranch, and they have completed construction in that area as well. So for the most part, Alamo Ranch as a whole has been completely built out. But what I will say is so great about this part of town. A, you've got the taxes are lower. B, they're newer built homes. So it's not Stone Oak where you're gonna have to renovate these homes unless you just have a personal taste that you wanna change. I have some clients that bought off of Roft Road in one of the gated communities out here in Alamo Ranch. And actually, I think it's over here. And the house was gorgeous. I mean, we showed it. I just thought, oh man, this is such an amazing floor plan. It's so beautiful. And they bought it and they love it. And within the first 2 months of them living there, I swear, they gutted it. They redid the flooring, redid the whole kitchen, painted all the cabinets, they took out the granite and put in quartz countertops. It's so beautiful. But they repainted the whole house. They put carpet in the game room upstairs. So, that was a preference. The home was actually really beautiful, but they wanted it even more to their taste. So, but for the most part, my point, the homes out here are very nice and very well made and still newer. So you're not getting a 2024 built home, but you are getting a 2008 through 2020 home in this area. So they are absolutely beautiful homes that you don't really need to do a whole lot of renovation to. The other great thing is the schools. So you do have Taft High School in Alamo Ranch. You also have a few elementaries in Alamo Ranch as well. They are all rated A-rated schools off niche.com, and they are in Northside ISD, which is a very well-known ISD in San Antonio. They have great schools, and here in Alamo Ranch, they are newer schools, so they are rated very well. You also have a lot of commercial in the area, which is why it's very similar to Stone Oak. Right here off Alamo Ranch Parkway, you have a lot of shops. So you have restaurants, you have shopping, you have doggy daycares, you have medical centers, dentists, really all the things that you need on a daily basis are right there located off Alamo Ranch Parkway. You also have a huge HEB, and you have right at the entrance of Alamo Ranch, you have the Home Depot, you've got a Target, you've got a lot of stuff right in that front of Alamo Ranch as well. So like I said in the beginning, a lot of the people who end up living in Alamo Ranch don't really have a reason to leave this little bubble unless they work outside of it. But for the most part, they go out to eat, they do their shopping, they do everything right here in Alamo Ranch unless they just choose to go outside of it, right? But it's got everything you need right there. Now, as I said before, because the taxes are lower, your mortgage payments are lower. Now, the other great thing about this is you get so much more bang for your buck in the properties themselves. So the average sales price in Alamo Ranch is $375. That's a great price for San Antonio. Now, San Antonio's average cost of living or average sales price in general is right around that $375 marker. Now, you can get homes as low as $275 in Alamo Ranch. You just have to hunt for them, and you got to be quick on them. When they come up, you got to jump on the $275. But you have a lot of inventory between $300,000 and $400,000. That is really the sweet spot for Alamo Ranch. The higher end homes are going to be $600,000. Now, I will be honest with you here, there's not many of them. They're usually the newer homes that were built closer to 2017 and newer, and they're large. They're 3,000 plus square feet with your 3-car garage. I mean, you really get a huge house for $600,000 in Alamo Ranch, where in Stone Oak or Fair Oaks or Bernie, your house is going to be significantly smaller in that $600,000 price point. So it just depends on the area you're living in, but honestly, the price range for Alamo Ranch is $275 to $615. There's not a whole lot higher priced than that. So that is some good news. Now you also have some great, right here off Culebra and 1604 in this area. You also have a ton of chain restaurants. Culebra, it has a ton of restaurants in general, but in that intersection, you know, on your way home, you have a lot to play with in that area and things to go see and do. You also have a Walmart over there as well. So everything is really conveniently located for you in Alamo Ranch. Now, one thing I want to cover is how it is located to everything else. So we talked about the freeways, but what I also want to hit on is, I did a little bit before, but it is very military friendly. You have Lackland Air Force Base here. You have Kelly Air Force Base, which is no longer Kelly Air Force Base. I cannot change my verbiage to save my life on this. It is now the Port of San Antonio, and you've got companies like Boeing and a lot of cybersecurity businesses that are popping up in that Port of San Antonio. So lots of aerospace jobs and cybersecurity in this area, which is great. Now you also have, if you stay on 90 and come a little bit further down this way, it drops you right in the heart of downtown San Antonio. So if you work downtown, it's an easy commute, especially if you take that shortcut on 151, drops you off at 90, takes you right into downtown San Antonio. Now, if you also work further down here, and don't quote me on it because I could have the wrong location, but it's usually over here closer to Mission Del Lago, is Toyota. So Toyota has a huge manufacturing plant down on the southeast side, but located from Alamo Ranch, it's a really easy commute down 1604, 90 to 410 and come down here. So a lot of clients I have worked with that work at Toyota will live in the Alamo Ranch area. It's usually one or the other. They live far west or they go far east. Not a lot of Toyota work or live up north. So I don't know why, that's just the way it's worked out based off what I've seen. And then you have people who are crazy who will drive 45 minutes to work and live in Fair Oaks and drive all the way to, Boeing. But to each their own, right? For some people, 30-minute drive is nothing because you came from an area where 30-minute drive will get you 2 miles. Here in San Antonio, 30-minute drive gets you a solid 30 miles almost. So anyway, I digress. I won't go off on that tangent, but you are located to a lot. Now, you also, because of 151, again, you can cut into 410 and it gives you easy access to Medical Center, USAA. You've got a lot of big businesses right off this I-10 1604 corridor. So with 151 dropping you into 410 and coming in, you have really great location and easy access. A little further, you're about 20 to 25 minutes away from the airport in Alamo Ranch, depending on traffic that day. I would give yourself 35 minutes to be safe, but You're really just easy access to a lot of things in San Antonio, but you get to be on the far west side, pay less taxes, and get more bang for your buck on the houses, which seems to be a win for a lot of people. So now the other great thing about Alamo Ranch is it's close to a lot of parks. So you have Government Canyon State Park just north of Alamo Ranch. You can actually get to it from Culebra, which is this road right here. And then it cuts up here it literally drops you into the park. It's an absolutely amazing state park. It's not going to go anywhere because it's a state park, but lots of trails. So if you like to hike, this is the best hiking spot, in my opinion, to go. They also have campsites, so you can actually go camp for the weekend. Steve and I go there quite a bit every year. At least we try to camp in Government State Canyon State Park, goodness, because it's so close to home. So we get to go camping, but God forbid it starts raining or something happens and, my kid stubs their toe or something, because it never fails with children. Something always happens. We're just close to home. So we've had a few eventful trips where we've camped in tents and it started raining. So we just had to pack up really quick and just drive home because it's just miserable with 3 children trying to camp in a tent when it's raining. So anyway, my point is great park, great playground, great hiking trails. They have dinosaur tracks and fossils. They have a whole dinosaur fossil trail that you can go and see these fossils. The kids really love it. The only thing I will say about that's a bummer, is you cannot take pets on that trail. All the other different trails throughout that state park, you can absolutely take your dog on hikes and stuff, but on the dinosaur track trail, they do not allow you to bring your dog to preserve the fossils. So just keep that in mind, but it's a great park. Now you also off 1604 up a little ways, you have OP Schnabel, which is up here off Braun and when you come in. So you also have OP Schnabel Park. It's just a little further in. Let me see if I can find it for you. There it is. I was close. OP Schnabel Park, which is another great park, great trails, lots to do. So you have those great things. And then you also have Alamo Ranch's HOA. So you do pay an HOA in Alamo Ranch as a whole, and it gets you into the amenity center. Now it has a basketball court, tennis court, a really, really nice pool with a huge slide, and it has a little pond, like a splash pad for kids. So really great facilities for not too much. I believe the HOA is around $350 a year. So really not $350K. Just kidding, $350 per year. So not a bad price to get all of those great amenities. I have clients all the time that specifically ask to be put in neighborhoods that have really great pools and amenities so that they don't have to go to SeaWorld in Fiesta, Texas and pay for all of these other things. Alamo Ranch has a really great amenity center. So you don't have to go outside to, an amusement park to pay for the slides and Schlitterbahn and all of those things. You have a pretty great one right in your neighborhood, which is great. And then within Alamo Ranch, you have these little, I know that just shows little green spaces, but when you go into the neighborhoods, even the non-gated part of Alamo Ranch, a lot of these little neighborhoods will have little playgrounds and parks with basketball courts. So it won't necessarily have a pool because you have the Alamo Ranch pool, but there's a lot of areas that will have little parks, especially right here next to the elementary school. So you have an elementary school right here, and then right here on this corner is actually a little playground. So I've been out there showing, and the elementary school gets out. And I mean, these kids just all go everywhere because it's a very, very friendly community, family-friendly community. So the parents will all just kind of be standing around waiting for their kids to get out, and they all walk home, which is just, it's great to see that. But then you see a lot of them just go and start playing on the playground. So they get out of school and there's a playground right across the street, so they go play. So there's a lot of areas like that throughout Alamo Ranch. where within each of these little sections where the builders built, they also built in little playgrounds, which is a great bonus as well. So I think that's everything you need to know about Alamo Ranch. If I missed something, be sure to drop a comment, let me know. I always love to hear from you guys and get feedback from you. I hope that it is super helpful and it helps kind of give you that general perspective of where Alamo Ranch is in comparison to San Antonio. That's the whole goal. And if you are thinking about selling your home or buying a home and moving into the area, please feel free to reach out. All of our information is listed right below. And Steve and I would be absolutely honored to hear from you. We would love to help you in your transition into your new home. And thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one.